Let's talk Phantasmal Flames, and in particular, let's talk about singles pull rates, and moreover than that, let's talk about the future investability of this set, both the sealed product and the singles. Should you buy now? Should you hold out? What does the future hold for pricing on this set? This is all my opinion. Let's jump straight into it. So there's a fair bit of hype around this set, namely because it's a Charizard based set. Charizard seems to be the star of the show when it comes to the TCG. Everyone seems to want to pull Charizards, and the hype for this has been huge. There's been BGS black labels of the Japanese Charizards go for massive dollars. PSA 10s have been going for massive dollars, and everyone was waiting on the English versions. Everyone wanted to rip open Phantasmal Flames for the chase that is Charizard. We've got an awesome SIR sitting inside there. In fact, it is one of the nicest Charizard cards I think I've seen in a very long time, and no one disagrees with that. I haven't heard anyone go, oh, this is an average looking card. Like in comparison, when Obsidian Flames came out and the Charizard for that set, there was people that absolutely loved it and there was people that certainly didn't like it. Now, hype, like I said, is still very high, and it's very difficult to find product at a reasonable price. There's a lot of anticipation for this set, people wanting to get the product, and as a result, demand is outweighing supply. And as a result, we see pretty strong prices for this straight out of the gate, which I'll get into right now. So sealed pricing. Of course, we have the normal culprits. It is a main chase card set, or it is a main set, sorry, not a holiday set, meaning we do get a booster box, not just elite trainer boxes and UPCs as a main product. So we're getting a booster box, there's elite trainer boxes, there's Pokemon Center elite trainer boxes, there's booster bundles, you name it, it's there. And if we look at the sealed product, there's one above my shoulder. I think the screen should pick it up. Again, pretty bland looking front cover to this Mega Evolution Phantasmal Flame booster box. It is not, in my opinion, from the front on, a nice looking booster box. Again, from the top and the side, and when you rip it open and it's sitting inside stores, of course it looks great. But from the front on, not looking great. So with all that in mind, booster boxes are currently going for a market price off TCG Player of $302 US. The Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box is right up there, clipping at its heels at $299 US, and the regular Elite Trainer box is $97 US. But on to the big pieces of information, pull rates. I did a video on Phantasmal Flames recently, certainly not throwing shade its direction, but giving caution to people really wanting to load up on massive pre-orders on this set in terms of a sealed investment. Because I said from the start, we need to know what pull rates are like. We just do. Because really this set is really 2 cards and that's it. Like don't get me wrong, there's some nice looking illustrations in here. Well, a couple of nice looking illustration rares, and the Dawn's a nice looking, trainer card. But really, everyone's chasing the Zard, like the special illustration rare Zard. And I said in my last video, before we knew anything about pull rates, that this set's future investability is really going to come down to the pull rate of the Gold Charizard and the Special Illustration Rare Charizard, but more in particular, the Special Illustration Rare Charizard. And I also said in my previous video that if only that added Gengar to this, imagine if we had a Gold Gengar and a Special Illustration Rare Gengar. So we had Gold Charizard, Gold Gengar, Special Illustration Rare Charizard, Special Illustration Rare Gengar, slightly bigger set with a few more illustration rares, bang. This would be an absolute firecracker, like one of the best investments you could buy for 2025. But unfortunately that hasn't happened, and we've just got 2 Charizards essentially, and pull rates don't seem all that great. I've been looking at a lot of videos and assessing a lot of other people's opinions on pull rates from lots and lots of different online sites, YouTubers. So hats off to anyone that opens multitudes of packs. Like, I don't have the time, effort, or funds, mind you, to be able to do that. So hats off to anyone. This data essentially comes from a lot of other creators in the space. But what we can see so far, it seems to be that this Charizard, the SIR, its pull rate is sitting somewhere around 1 in 420 booster packs. Now the Gold Charizard, on the other hand, and this is a hard one because you need such a big data set to get an accurate figure on this, but it seems somewhere over 1 in 1,000, maybe 1 in 1,200 or thereabouts, and any specific illustration rare about 1 in 130. So it is a smaller set, and pull rates seem quite low. Now, if we compare that to something, I just wanted to bring up on the screen here, Obsidian Flames pull rates. So that Charizard from Obsidian Flames is about 1 in 200 packs. So it's about, what it seems, twice as hard to pull as the Obsidian Flames Charizard. And it's also a much, much better looking Charizard. Now, Before we jump into the next segment of this video, I just want to give a shout out quickly to two things. One is Movember. In case you don't want to know what Movember is, it's where essentially men grow moustaches, hence Movember, play on words of November, to raise money for men's mental health, suicide prevention, health things that really only affect men in terms of, prostate and testicular cancer. And as a result, of course, I'm growing the Mo. So if you wanted to donate to my Movember page to raise money for men's mental health, essentially, there will be a link in the description of this video if you want to jump on there and donate. And the second thing I wanted to give a shout out to, of course, is today's video sponsor, which is the Collector app. You can follow my journey down in the Collector app's content creators section. Huge updates on this. If you want to sign up to be a pro member, it's so easy, and you get all the data in the world as a pro member. It makes it so easy to make good financial decisions when it comes to Pokemon card investing. Nowadays though, there's heaps of cool updates. You can filter in your portfolio from not only your highest item to your lowest item, but what's making moves. So market movers for the day, both in the positive direction, negative direction, and also in your account tab where it shows you how much you've spent and what your total collection's worth, so paper value. You can now add in when you sell something and it'll show you realized value. So you can see your profit that you're making off your sales when it comes to Pokemon card investing. So awesome app, only keeps getting better. Link in the description again to download that one. Right, back onto the video. Pull rates out of the way. What's going to happen with pull rates? What's going to happen with this set? So let's talk about the future. Let's talk about singles first. Should you go out and buy that Charizard right now? My strongest opinion is no. Look, I have been wrong before, but I think prices are going to drop. Everyone's talking about pulling this card. There's been a lot of them pulled. As a result, the market supply is going to start increasing. As more and more Phantasmal Flames gets open, there's going to be more and more Charizards on the market. So as a result, buying this card raw at what seems to be about $729 US, I don't think is a good price. Where will this card land? And look, this really is a future-based question. Well, in my opinion, if the Obsidian Flames Charizard sits at about $70 US and it's 1 in 200 and the artwork isn't as sought after as this card and the card isn't as sought after, pull rates are twice as hard. Look, I think this card's still going to hold pretty strong for a fair while. Like, I think it'll drop to $600 US pretty quickly, then maybe $500 US and $400 US, and maybe it'll find its floor at $250 to $300 US. Possibly. Pull rates, they are going to hurt it. And I did say that from the start. Just be careful with pull rates on this set. For a small set with very limited SIRs and IRs, they couldn't make them too hard. And as a result, it sort of rung true, and there we go. So when it comes to singles pricing, don't jump out of the gate and buy that Zard right now. $729 is going to be too dear for that card. The gold Zard, again, just beneath it, $709 US. This is the one that, same thing, I feel will dip quite significantly, but it's got the tougher pull rates, but the artwork's not there. And what this shows us is something really important when it comes to Pokemon card collecting and investing, that rare doesn't particularly mean expensive, because if it's not sought after with nice artwork, then that doesn't really make it desirable. It's got to have both. A rare artwork with tough pull rates just is going to skyrocket the price of that card, isn't it? So there's where I sort of see singles. And the other ones, like, the Dawn sitting at $54, and probably my favorite illustration rare from the set, which is a cute little Piplup at $18 US. Again, I think both of these cards, as market supply starts to increase, will trend in the downward direction. Where's the floor for these cards? That's just an estimate for me that SIR Charizard will dip down to $300 US, or maybe even $250 US based off its pull rates. But time will tell. Let's see how close I was there. When it comes to sealed product, what is the future on sealed products? So the booster box currently is $302 US, which is quite expensive. It's expensive because it's new. It's the newest toy on the block, isn't it? People want to rip it, people want to get that gold Zard, and more in particular, people want to get that SIR Zard. People are ripping it like crazy. It's hard to get product. Mega Evolution is also hard to get, the base set. So this is the next best thing. Rip, 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 rip. What is the future of this booster box? Well, to give you an idea, Obsidian Flames, which is right here on the screen, $290 US a booster box. And it is fairly old now. Like, what is it, pushing 3 years old, Obsidian Flames, or 2.5 years old? So it's not a youthful Pokemon card set. It's not straight out of the gate. And as a result, I think we'll see, this is my opinion on it. This is my opinion on the booster box. It'll probably stay where it is, somewhere around $300 US. Maybe it'll dip to $250 US, maybe not. It's going to be hard to get. People still want to rip it. People want to chase that Zard because it's such a good looking Zard. It'll stay inflated above recommended retail price for a fair while, but it won't climb much further north than that for a long. It won't do a Destin Rivals. There's just not enough chase inside there, in my opinion. There's not. Like, it's not deep enough. The Zard is beautiful, everyone knows it, but there's just no depth there to push it up north. And even if it were to push to $400 a box because, you know, supply dwindles and people still want to chase that Zard, and maybe even, you know, gem rates are really tough and the Zard as a PSA 10 is worth $1,500 and that could boost up the price of this box. And even if that happens, I think it'll get to like that $400 box and it'll stay there for quite some time. What we've learnt in the future is, unfortunately, as good as Charizard is, it's not enough to just fully hold up a Pokemon card set. There needs to be more substance and more depth to a Pokemon card set. Case in point is probably Burning Shadows. Burning Shadows shot absolutely through the roof as one of the quickest climbing Sun and Moon booster boxes because of that hyper rare Rainbow Charizard. It was worth lots raw and it was worth massive amounts of money as a PSA 10 because print quality was really poor and it was tough to gem into 10. And you know what? It shot up to a certain price, like more expensive than Team Up, more expensive than Cosmic Eclipse, albeit later sets, you know, as we're edging into Sword and Shield era because of that Charizard. And then you know what? It's sort of held there and everything else has overtaken it. Why? Because other sets have more depth to them. Team Up has way more depth and it got short printed. Cosmic Eclipse has way more depth and it got somewhat short printed. Even sets like Unbroken Bonds and Unified Minds have way more depth than it. Charizard is not enough just to fully hold up a booster box. You might have different opinions than that, but I think that's where it sits. It'll maybe climb, it'll maybe dip if supply is strong to $250 a box because people are sick of ripping that Charizard. It'll maybe climb to $400 a box because that Charizard is tough to gem into 10. We don't know yet. We need to wait for that. It's tough to gem into 10, so this is a hypothetical, and therefore box price goes up because it's worth lots as a gem mint 10, as a PSA 10. But it's only going to hold there for a certain amount of time. It's not going to go any higher. It's not going to become a $1,000 booster box anytime soon. Like, it's not the next Evolving Skies, unfortunately. With all that in mind, what's my advice around it? Hold off on buying the singles. If you can get the booster box at recommended retail price, go for it. If you're paying up above $300, $350-ish for a booster box, I think you're paying too much. That's my advice on the set. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz. Catch everyone next time.